This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
You suck. You're disgusting. And I wish nothing but the worst that could ever happen to a person on you.
The thing is like, we don't live our lives by logic.
I can't. It's such a joke.
There's no logic to this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Feelings took over.
That's so weird. Tori and I just had the same conversation. Welcome to DBL. Let's jump right in, guys. I wish we could talk like that a little bit.
The best.
Listen, if you guys didn't see, that was Vanderpump, the episode, the finale, right? Oh, where am I going? Let's start over. I got too excited. Okay, so that was the last episode of Vanderpump Rules. I'm very excited about it. I don't know how excited these guys are.
I'm ready to go.
But Raquel finally faced the cast, and Ariana did not hold back. Raquel apologized for betraying her and said she's finally seeing the consequences for her actions. Ariana then went off on Raquel, as you just saw, calling her the lowest of the low. So after the reunion, Raquel came clean. So this was the bomb everyone was waiting for. In an interview, and said Tom Sandoval told her to lie about their affair the whole time. So not the affair itself, but the timeline of it. So if you watched the reunion yesterday, they said they only slept together once. Right after reunion aired, this was the bomb that everyone was waiting for. She's like, I can't lie anymore. This was 6 days after, and goes, we slept together when we were in Mexico. That was an episode on the show.
Shut up.
Multiple times. We slept together in the hot tub when I slept over at its house while she was at a wake. Yeah.
At her grandmother's
Yeah.
wake. The grandmother?
Yeah. So there was some bombs dropped yesterday. It was the final one. So soak it in, everybody. Erica, what was your take?
Lord have mercy, I was in on this.
I feel like that would have been Big Mama's take too.
Good Lord. So there were a couple things that stood out to me. First of all, when Ariana, who was the girlfriend, responded that she had been intimate with her boyfriend, who had been intimate with Rachel. And Rachel seemed to be a little surprised by that, like the couple times that came up, which I'm like, girl, this man lives in a whole house that he shares with a whole girlfriend of almost a decade. You're surprised that they are getting it on, like, at all? Wow. But then, Lord, he says, yeah, but to his girlfriend, or now ex-girlfriend, yeah, but you kept your T-shirt on the whole time we were doing it, like, so hot.
What?
Like,
how dare you?
Excuse me? Did I hear that right? You are scrutinizing this woman.
You're blaming her.
For having her T-shirt on while having intimate relations with you.
It was bizarre.
While you are having intimate relations with her best friend. And shout out to Ariana, because her customized T-shirt is available now on Something About Her.
No way.
Yeah,
and it says, this is basically, you can do stuff with me in this T-shirt.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they're really capitalizing marketing-wise on this
she's
whole
on Dancing with the Stars
scandal.
next season.
Yeah, but they're selling merchandise like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they're not selling hot tubs. That's super gross. You know, as I kind of like looking at this as, most of the viewers are, like not everybody's immersed in this, but just seeing the different tropes and the different kinds of people involved in something like this and how you handle it. Because when you've been caught cheating so blatantly, when you double down,
dude, it was
and then
bad.
triple down and then attack the person that was wronged, it's bordering on sociopath. Dude,
psychopathy.
Where, like, you don't understand how people are going to react. Like, what? People will be mad that I insult this woman that I've cheated on and then insult her looks? Like,
that was exactly it, Al. I know you didn't watch, but did you not get just sociopath from both of them? Like, no tears. She's
was there any remorse?
No, just like, I'm so sorry I did that.
Really?
And she's like, you slept with my husband in her house. She's like, I know I did bad.
Nothing.
Dude, it was bizarro world.
At one point, this chick, the side chick, thought that she was going to be in a throuple with her, the guy that she was
Ariana,
cheating
she's
on
like,
with,
is my best friend.
She thought so she's living full fantasy.
She's
in a full
She was
fantasy
going to
world.
be invited into the home so that they could live together as a throuple. And did you see that unseen footage?
No, I didn't.
There's unseen footage when they're in the hot tub in Mexico, and it's Ariana, Tom, and Raquel. And they take a photo in the hot tub, and Ariana says, oh, that photo doesn't need to see the light of day. People are going to think we're in a throuple.
No.
Yes.
And she was already having sex
and they
with
were
Tom
having
at that
sex
time.
on
In
that.
the hot tub.
That's what you call introducing an idea, like subconsciously.
Inception.
Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, but it wasn't the way. It was the girl that got cheated on. It wasn't the two that were cheating.
Oh, that's
Dude,
Yeah.
it's bizarre. It's
like
come
a
to an end. We've been
Shakespearean-
waiting weeks for it, but Lisa Vanderpump summed it up the best, I think, in one part. She's like, Raquel, I think you're living like a movie in your head and you're trying to play it out like for the cameras.
fantasy.
I think the starlight, like putting on the TV show, I think she got overwhelmed and thought she was the star and
Like
thought
she got
all
enmeshed.
these things were possible. Like,
Right.
oh, I'll have a threesome and then everyone will love me. It's like
Right.
crazy town.
Yeah,
Crazy
yeah.
town.
Lisa Vanderpump, the biggest misogynist on the stage. Yes.
our next
Story for
segment.
another time. That's tomorrow. All right. Let's get to Kim Kardashian, a good girl, huh? Kim Kardashian may always look confident, but that might not be the case in the bedroom. On today's episode of The Kardashians, Kim explains that she can walk in a thong for a photo shoot with 100 people working on set, but if someone's in the bedroom with her, she doesn't want them to look at her body and wants the lights off unless she's filming a movie.
Right.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. You added that unless you.
When you said that, Jeff, I looked at the prompter. I was like, who wrote that? Oh.
And I don't even know what that means. What does that
I think
mean?
we all know what it means. But here's the thing. It does relate back to the other story of Ariana, is that her name, wearing the shirt over it. Some people are very comfortable being out exhibitionists in that way, and they're not when it becomes intimate. Do I think Kim Kardashian has a ton of insecurities? Yes. Do I feel like she's telling the truth? Yes. Do I think it's relatable to a lot of people? Yes.
Absolutely. Look, we just,
Lights off for a lot of people is like a hard rule because they don't feel comfortable in their body. They don't want people looking at it with the lights on, and they want to live in a fantasy in some ways and feel good in their own body.
She made a porno movie, and the lights were on. What are you saying?
But I mean, I think a lot of people have made
It's a
sex.
fair
I think a lot of people watching us, I think a lot of people that you know, I think a lot of people that work at the Justice Center and people that are cops and lawyers or whatever, everybody, a lot of people have made sex tapes. And, so I'm not shaming her for that. What I thought we could take a real lesson from is Megan Fox, who, by almost all accounts, is a very beautiful, attractive human being. She came out and she's like, I have body dysmorphia. Robin, I almost said Robin Harris, the black comedian. Robin, the famous Mork and Mindy? Williams. Robin Williams, he came out, he had Louis body. Your outside doesn't always match how you feel inside. So I could see Kim having these issues.
Okay.
Erica,
Yeah, man, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
I don't get it.
I know. She's shy.
How do you make a sex tape? You're not shy enough to make a sex tape. That's okay, but you're shy that you want the lights off?
Well, that was how many
I think,
years ago?
and I also think performance and performative sex, which it was, is different than an intimate moment.
All right, I support everybody. Coming up on DBL, a man goes by, support everybody. No, Dr. Deep Sea. He has been living underwater for nearly 100 days. That's a good nickname then. We're talking with him about why he's doing it, and Jenna Ortega is opening up about the drama surrounding her on the set of Wednesday. That's next.
DBL. This show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If I felt really uncomfortable, I wouldn't put myself on camera naked, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could.
That's just a logical point.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna go fishing.
Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. Is it on your
no, I mean, what do you think, Erica?
Yeah, she was like, I didn't like
Taking Kim out of it, because I know you're not a fan, I'm assuming.
I'm not a fan. I don't really. I'm apathetic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think
I didn't
the
think it
reason
sounded
why
that outlandish.
I think okay. Most of these stories come down to the root of why we're having the conversation, why this story was selected, and I think that the reason why the story was selected is it's a weird juxtaposition for someone who has had a sex tape to come out and say that they are uncomfortable or need to have the lights off. And my feeling is, I think to each their own. some people like it that way, some people don't. Some people are comfortable in their bodies, some people aren't. I don't know what the algorithm is for who falls in either category, and that's how I feel about it. I feel nothing.
I would argue that people that are on, social media, and most of their thing is like their body or a body part that they're trying to accentuate, they probably are more comfortable with their body than a person that made, as far as we know, a few sex tapes almost 2 decades ago. I think to every day, and that's okay
but the truth
too.
Is you don't know. So that's the thing.
Of course, you don't know what's inside of somebody.
Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, I just don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, I think that's the issue. Like, I sometimes I know that that's not a popular thing to say on television, but it's the truth, and I know that people out there feel the same way, like they don't care, and I'm on your team. I'm doing it for you.
Yes, but if you have a partner...
Erica, I just don't...
Welcome back. Yesterday we talked about the backlash Katherine Heigl faced after criticizing the writers of Grey's Anatomy, but now we are seeing an example of a star being promoted to quote-unquote, well, I guess she is a producer, after making some quote-unquote suggestions about scripts. In Variety's Actors on Actors, Jenna Ortega talked with Elle Fanning about becoming a producer on season 2 of Netflix show Wednesday. This comes after she openly criticized the writing on the show. They were also both involved with the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable discussion, and Jenna dove deeper into the topic. Let's take a watch.
I think when I went into Wednesday, I really put my foot down and made it clear that everything that I had to say, I wanted to make sure that it mattered and was heard. And it really, I think, as the show went on, we all got a better feel for one another, and it's become a really collaborative experience. And I feel really lucky to be able to join the next season and be in the room early and be, talking about scripts and giving notes.
So these are very similar scenarios, but very different outcomes. Mm-hmm. And just Jenna's 20, was that right? 20 years old.
She's clearly very young.
Yes.
Yeah, I think time has absolutely made diversity of voices a resource. Why are you looking like that?
Diversity of voices?
Well,
shouldn't those voices have been trained to write?
Okay, let me say what I'm going to say, then you can attack it.
Okay.
A diversity of voices, as in you don't generally have a young female Latina being able to express how she's feeling. Also, like in that type of room. Also, with the Katherine Heigl situation, she had pretty much left Grey's Anatomy, and she was kind of like being picked up by all these big films, but there wasn't like an attachment. This is a woman who has been embodied with her character. People clearly think it's successful and they like her. I know that we have disagreements about how she handled the situation, but clearly there was some value in what she said, and there we go.
I mean, she has leverage now. I mean, I think that's what we're talking about. But and she can have an opinion, but there are people that are trained to write storylines and series arcs and character arcs and making sure that everything lines up and you feel ingratiated with her character and understanding that this character is having the foresight to understand this character is going to evolve or devolve over. Look at Walter White and how he started and how he ended. If he just said in season 2, you know what, I'm going to handle it from here, well, you can't take him off Breaking Bad. So do we want, Walter White writing his own ending?
Well, she said collaborative, but I agree with you. I agree with you on this.
Do you think we're collaborating at all, or do you think she has the final word?
Well, I think she's trying to at least say they're collaborative, but here's what I don't like. I don't like what she said about the writers. She says, I don't think I've ever had to put my foot down more in a set in a way that I had to on Wednesday. Everything that I did not make sense for her character at all. To me, that's throwing your writers under the bus. And I don't like if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're Katherine Heigl or a crocodile, you can't throw your writers and your crew under the bus, period. And I think she did, and she's never really atoned for it, so she comes across looking a bit entitled as a 20-year-old person who thinks she knows everything.
Well, it's just insulting to other professionals. What do you think, Erica? I think it's insulting.
I don't think there's a problem with collaborative efforts. I think more people could benefit from collaborative efforts. I mean, we obviously all talk about how much we respect and appreciate everyone who does this production. But at the end of the day, it requires the diversity of voices. And when people are more open to allowing people to be who they are because that's why they're being paid to be there, then everyone benefits. It's the making of room for everyone to be the very best at what they do.
We respect everybody except the producers who timed the show. We'll be right back.
Oregon officials recommend running your air conditioning if you have one. But can air conditioners really filter out smoke from wildfires? Let's verify. Our sources are the American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers, the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, and the Environmental Protection Agency. You'll probably see the most smoke in the air while a fire is actively burning, but CARB says smoke and the pollutants it contains can linger in the air for weeks or even months, depending on the weather and size of the fire. The EPA recommends keeping the windows closed to limit how much smoke gets into your home, but even then, smoke can still get inside through bathroom and kitchen fans that vent to the outside, or through small openings and cracks around windows and doors. This is where our sources say a window or split system AC can help, because they do not pull in air from the outside. Instead, they cool indoor air by first running it through a filter. Filters are rated from 1 to 16 on a scale called MERV. A higher number means the filter is more effective at catching toxins, like those found in smoke. The American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers tells Verify you'll need a filter with a MERV rating of at least 13 to help during wildfire conditions, and you'll need to replace it at least every 2 days because it will be catching a lot of particles. So, yes, air conditioners can filter out wildfire smoke from within your home if you use high enough grade filters and replace them frequently. The EPA also suggests people who live in wildfire-prone areas ensure there's a tight seal between window ACs and the window. Those who don't have AC can use a portable air cleaner to help filter during wildfires. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Dr. Joseph Dettori, also known as Dr. Deep Sea, is currently breaking a world record on the ocean floor and is doing it so we could actually know more about ourselves, the planet, and beyond. Take a look.
Meet Dr. Joseph Dettori, a retired Navy veteran and biomedical researcher from Florida, currently spending 100 days living underwater as part of Project Neptune.
27 years, 8 months, 19 days in the U.S. Navy. And then I got the job of a lifetime where I could be in charge at Deep Submergence Unit and be the guy that worked on the One Atmosphere suit.
His knack for underwater research and education gave him the name Dr. Deep Sea.
I'm taking a 28-year Navy career as a special operations diver. I'm combining that with a PhD in biomedical engineering and then rounding that out with a zest for life.
And with Project Neptune, he will break the record for most days spent living underwater.
We beat the record back at 73 days, but this was never, ever, ever about the record.
With only a few days left in the experiment, Dr. Dettori is about to return to the surface, and the knowledge he's discovered might change the world.
It's the culmination of what I was meant to do, I think, thus far to this point in my life.
Wow, joining us now live in Key Largo in our first underwater interview, it's Dr. Deep Sea himself, Dr. Joseph Dettori.
Yes!
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, I just want to thank you for your service. That's a couple decades in the U.S. Navy.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to start with my fear because people like to laugh at it. I have a deep fear of whales, and I salute your bravery. And it's amazing, of deep, deep water. What inspired you in the first place to even do this?
Well, you know, the PhD in biomedical engineering pushed me in the right direction to keep asking the questions. Hey, what happens to the human body when you leave it in an isolated, confined, extreme environment? So just trying to walk down that road and get the answers. And like I said, you know, I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. You know, when you look back, your life looks like it all lined up together. When you're walking forward, it might not look that way, but
It does on the way back.
Amen.
That's amazing.
You just seem like somebody that lived exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like I bet you have the best photos of anybody. Can you imagine? Did you see all the clips we made?
He's the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah,
for sure.
truly. I mean, but you know, this is a really cool thing you're doing, but I know you looked and you were like, there have to be a lot of risks that are associated as well. So can you walk us through some of those?
Oh, wow. That's actually a really interesting question. So, yeah, okay, some of the risks are this is the first time anybody stayed under pressure for this long. So the decompression algorithm is, 16 third-order partial differential equations that have to be gone through, gone backwards, gone through again, make sure it's right. Yeah, there's a lot of risks in that. So the medical side is certainly there. And then it's a system of systems. You are in an underwater habitat that is fighting hard to keep you alive. And, you're trying to break yourself while you're doing it. So it's a risky situation. But, you learn and you mitigate the risks and you move forward.
Dr. Joseph, I hope this catches on because I wish more Americans would live underwater with everything going on in America today. So I hope it catches on. But I know I did a reality show back in the day. I spent a couple of months in a house by myself and I was losing my mind. How are you not losing your mind in this confined space?
What I do, I pass the time by doing about 6 or 8 hours worth of science a day.
Wow.
And that's the truth. I'm working on stuff. And then when I'm done working with that, I do interviews, and then we've been doing outreach. We reached almost 5,000 kids in under 100 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're really trying to hit hard the science, technology, engineering, and math, and preserving, protecting, and rejuvenating our marine environment.
Really quickly, how do you get such good cell service down there?
We don't have good
struggle
here.
in our studio. We're under at the bottom of the ocean.
We ran a Cat 5 cable underwater for this mission specifically. Literally swam it from the surface. So
science,
I have a great
technology.
mission director.
We need to get ourselves a Cat 5 cable.
Vittori, you are incredible. What an inspiration.
Can he run for president?
I know. We can't wait to see you finally see the sun. So maybe we can check back in after that. DBL Nation, be sure to follow Dr. Vittori on Instagram
what a cool guy.
at Dr. Deep Sea. Thank you again. We'll be right back. Thank you, Doctor.
Here comes the sun.
Hi, guys.
We're in the dog days of summer as temperatures peak nationwide. While we're doing almost anything to keep ourselves cool, our dogs are also panting just as much as we're sweating. So here are 3 fast facts about hot weather and dogs. First, a viral Facebook post warns owners should avoid giving their dogs ice cubes because it can cause their body temperature to increase. So let's verify. Is it dangerous to give ice cubes to dogs? These are our sources. You've probably seen dogs lapping up water after playing on a hot day, but the American Kennel Club warns if they drink too much water at once, it can cause water intoxication, which can lead to vomiting, bloat, and, in severe cases, can be deadly. Instead, they recommend giving dogs ice cubes to slow their water intake until they're calmer, while also helping to safely reduce their body temperature. The Kennel Club says claims that ice cubes can increase a dog's body temperature are not true. So, no, it is not dangerous to give ice cubes to dogs. Next, you know the expression, it's so hot you can fry an egg on the street? Remember, dogs walk on that same street, barefoot. So, can hot asphalt injure a dog's feet? These are our sources. On a picture-perfect 70-degree day, then your dog is fine to walk on the pavement. But the American Kennel Club says if it's hotter than 85 degrees outside, then the asphalt is likely too hot. This is because asphalt absorbs heat. At 85 degrees, the pavement can be as hot as 135 degrees. And at 100 degrees, vet Ed Faulkner says pavement can reach 160 degrees. Those temperatures are hot enough to cause blisters and burns on your dog's paws. Shallowford Animal Hospital recommends putting your hand on the ground, and if it's too hot for you to keep it there for 10 seconds, then it's too hot for your dog. So, yes, hot pavement can injure a dog's feet. Finally, while we're talking about paws, have you seen posts like these claiming dogs sweat through their paws? So, let's verify using these sources. The American Kennel Club says dogs have 2 types of sweat glands. The ones on their bodies release pheromones, but not sweat. This is because most dogs are covered in fur, which wouldn't allow the sweat to evaporate and keep them cool. The other type of gland is on their paws, and those release a bit of sweat. So, yes, dogs do sweat through their paws, but it's not the primary way they stay cool. That would be through panting, according to Dr. Faulkner, which causes moisture to evaporate from their tongues, nose, and lungs. Dogs still rely on their humans for help when it's hot, so it's important to watch for the signs of heat exhaustion, like excessive panting or drooling, dizziness or weakness, and then get them indoors and give them cool water, or a few ice cubes. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Have either of you ridden horseback on a beach? That is a huge bucket list for me.
I feel like a huge hospital bill for you.
You are literally a Ken doll.
Wow.
It is life.
Thank
it's a
you.
compliment. Do I look relaxed? Yeah.
It's moving. Sorry, we have a spider. Chris, it's moving. Can we just...
Y'all, seriously.
Sorry. Okay, let's get right to it.
I can't take this anymore.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Did you hear that?
No. All right, Steph, I'm in the mood to shop. What do you have?
Hey, Tori. Hi, DBL Nation. I'm so excited to show you all the exciting things we've got today. Get ready because they are great. Check this out.
Oh.
We've got the Anthony Barcelona two-piece gift box set. So this deal includes 2 glasses in a gift box, and you can choose from stemless wine, large wine, champagne, whiskey, or martini glasses.
That's mine.
Normally, these are $74.
Yeah.
We've got our deal for just $15. So that's saving 80%. Now, this one is really interesting. We've got the Life Authentics acupressure mat and pillow. Smart. So this deal includes 1 mat, 1 pillow, and 1 carrying bag. Normally, this is $50.
Right.
We've got it for just $14.99. So that's saving 70%. Next up today, we've got the Chronomax Bravo 2 smartwatch. So this deal includes 1 smartwatch and 1 charging cable.
Okay.
Normally, this watch is $180.
Ooh, that's pricey, Steph.
But guess what? We've got it for $39.99. So that's saving 78%. And what about this, Tori? This is our last product today. It's the Truman's Gentleman's Groomers 7-piece facial care kit. So we have got 1 aftershave balm, 1 facial scrub, 1 facial cleanser, 1 facial moisturizer, 1 shave cream, and 2 lip balms.
Oh my goodness.
And normally it's $110. Ooh. Tori, we're gonna save you all because we've got it for just $29.99. So that's saving 73%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code. It's right on the screen. It's going to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, as always, thank you so much.
So if you guys rewind right to the beginning of that, Tori called me a jerk.
I did not.
We'll see you tomorrow.